So, might as well start with when the property was built. Well, we won't even go that route. When, I should say, the property was acquired. Was acquired in 1971, I believe. And we, well, my grandfather, who lives, I don't know if you guys can see it, right down there, right kind of where my finger is in between them two branches right there, where my finger's pointing, is where my parents used to live, okay? They built that house themselves. Dad did. He married mom. Did some things. Boom. I come about, okay? So, none of the buildings were here when my grandpa built, or I should say moved it down to the farm, is where him and grandma started. There was, I don't even remember if there was a shop here. I'm gonna have to do some digging for pictures. And if anybody can, well, I know this addition wasn't here. I know that from pictures, okay? But this is the old side of the shop. And I'm just not sure if this was here or not. I don't know. I do remember the fuel tank used to sit there to fuel the dump trucks up. We used to keep the dump trucks over here. That barn there, all that I know is there was a bank barn that sat, well, kind of in the same spot that barn there was. And no, I don't even remember the bank barn. I just remember hearing about it. So it was somewheres in this area here. It didn't come out this way any. It was somewheres in the neighborhood of left or right of the barn that is in view of the screen. So it wasn't until I think 2010, 2009 we added this addition here. Yeah, 2010, because I remember it was a cold and snowy day. Didn't have school that day because it was a snow day. And I remember the framework was up and everything. When I was little, I should have never done this. I should have never, before I started YouTube, I had an old JVC camera, and I would make videos of this stuff, okay? Back, you know, before I got started on YouTube in 2013. And what I would do is I would video like the process of this addition going up and things of that nature. Different things we would acquire on the farm and so on and so forth. Well, I would put the footage on CD discs so that way I could watch it back and forth, you know, play it back and all that. Never even gave it a second thought that one day I would be doing YouTube. And that would have been a killer video or a killer addition to the channel, would to see things like that. So this is the milk room, washroom that was here. Oh, I want to say it was, no, I don't know if this was part of the old bank barn or not. I don't think that it is. I don't believe it was. And then got the occasional cats that run around here, and we keep straw in this building here, along with hay on the hay side. This is just an extra pen here for, you know, if we need to put a cow and a calf in here, or a couple calves, or what have you. It's a fully functional pen with a automatic water that come from the other farm. The other farm is located in the allotment. A couple minutes from here. What's left of it, I believe, is a garage or a building. It's a darn shame that the farm, the allotment, got all chopped up. The farm did. It would have been really cool to get some footage of that, just to see how things were laid out and so on and so forth. Then we had this addition put in. The wall was right here. It stopped. We had this cut in 2010. This used to be the building where we would what we did was we had our 4-H calves in here. Okay, you guys are probably thinking, what the heck is that room there? Well, so you go in, you get into 4-H and things like that, and I'm sure there are some people out there on YouTube that could vouch for me on this one. There is such a theory as if you put cattle in a dark room during the day, it'll make their hair grow from that, like that, in a matter of weeks or months. Okay, this little guy here, he is not a show animal. We bottle fed him from birth pretty much, and he is doing quite well. I think this is like a 40 or 48 by 60? No. It can't be 60 foot long. I don't know exactly. I always thought it was like a 48 by something or other. So then while this was being built, no, this wasn't even here. We utilized this for what that did before that was built. You put the animals in there, they had access to water, boom, their hair would grow. We basically did the same thing here, but in a more condensed space. Okay, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but somewhere, yes, right here was the gate hinges. Okay, and what we did was we put a gate. Did it go this way? Or this way? Now see, I don't even remember, but we would put the cows on this side, yes, because we could never get it cool enough on that side to do anything. So we basically would bring the cows in here, okay, let them in here during the day in the the freezer. Basically, that's what this apparatus here is there's an air conditioner unit that sets outside the door, and it would cool this area down to about 50 degrees, I believe the temperature was. So you put the cows in here during the day, and they would go out about 8, 9 o'clock at night, because that way you would trick their hair into growing all year round if you put them in a dark environment like this here. So that's what we did here. Before this was even thought of, you guys probably seen it, that silver gate out there was originally right here at this gate hinge. So this wasn't even here. This was where the gate was. That silver gate was brought here. The pasture was choked down even smaller, and there was a house trailer that sat out there for my grandpa's mom and dad when they lived here. They had a house trailer there. Got rid of the trailer when they passed and made the pasture bigger. We tried doing with this here for a couple of years. There's a door up there that used to be in here to make this even more of a condensed space, but now we don't need the door, so it just sets up in the rafters. This gate comes shut here like such, and so does that one there when this pen is in use, and everything is good. So then this pin here is where chickens are. I am since no longer in the chicken business. That is my brother-in-law and sister's doings. It is not mine no more. I actually feel like I have somewhat of a life now because I'm not tied into doing chickens, collecting eggs every night, because there's 2 of them because they're married and only 1 of me. I was spending anywheres of close to a hour, half hour messing around with eggs and everything, and it was every night, and I'm like, I was losing money, and I was like, well, it's not theoretically worth it. So we had this cut in here too for moving cows, getting it from one end of the building to another, and it works out relatively well. This was here, like I said, I am not sure of when the building, the barn was built. I know Grandpa built it. These headlocks were not here. These were when we first started the 4-H journey. We just started with these here, and then we were like, hey, these work so darn well, why can't we add more? Okay, and these are self-locking. All you do is you flip a lever up there and it moves some fingers around, and well, I will demonstrate. Oh, bud, what you doing? What you doing, you friendly thing? So what you would do is you would take this pin out here, then you would flip this up here, and then these guys here would be up like such. You would put your pin back in the hole, and that's what gives these things their name as a self-locking headlock for vaccinating cattle and things like that. And then when you don't want them to be in use, the self-latching part, flip that like that and reinsert your pin just like that. So that way that cannot be bumped. So what Grandpa did to make this even more user-friendly was, okay, this is a barn. We're gonna need to move cows. So what he did was he put these pipes in the ground, okay? And he put concrete around them. I can see the one is starting to come loose, but what he would do is, before that addition, and there was really no other way to move cows, say you had that gate there in the middle, swings to make this into 2 pins, so you have a total of 3, 1, 2, and then 3 on down the line. He would take gates and put the gates here, so that way when you were walking the cows down the alleyway, they did not fall into the feed trough, okay? If anybody has ever had the sad reality of a cow falling in a feed trough, trying to get it back out is a conundrum. So that is why these are here for anybody that is curious. And then the ramp is obviously so that the cows can get in and out. Much more easy than trying to get up, you know, a 3-foot transition from concrete to barn floor. Grandpa built all these buildings himself. The big tool shed there, the pig barn, and the last building that was built is the big equipment building. We can fit everything in that building that we need, and then have room left over, which is really nice come winter time, because the farm equipment that we aren't using, the tractors and some trucks, can all be put under roof. So this is the feed grinder room here, where the feed grinder is stored. There used to be bins back in here, I believe, right where the wall is. There were 2 different bins here. We would keep oats in one bin, and then the other bin was used for storage. We since then built a room. We can give pigs vaccinations, things like that if we need be. The farrowing room we built on here, that is where the hay mower used to sit, as we'll go over farm equipment in a future video. It was actually the whole length of that building, and then yes, it was from that point there to wall there, just kind of drew a straight line, was where the hay mower sat, and a couple other odds and ends. Since then, we have turned that into the farrowing room. We raised our own pigs, and so on and so forth. We have since then, like you guys have saw, tore the 2 bins out. We just keep pellets in the back there, supplement to mix into the grinder. And this area here is where the manure spreader used to sit. We've since then kicked it out, told it to go find a new place to live, and it lives right there next to the backhoe. This works out great for when pigs are almost close to farrowing. We can put them in here, seeing as it's almost a straight shot into the farrowing house. Set a couple gates up, use a skid loader if we have to, just set it there, a couple gates and some boards, and walk them right into there. So we've since then done something with our equipment shed storage. This is part of what makes a farm, is equipment storage. Grandpa built this here to keep some various pieces of equipment. The 310 Bobcat, believe it sat right there next to the fertilizer truck. Okay, then the backhoe that come from Brimfield Cemetery. That's a 68 Ford. We'll get into that in a future video. What he did add was this back here. He added, I should say, this addition back here. This was just a straight, yes, a straight wall here. Added this little addition here. We can put, I think, we can only put 2 trucks in here during the winter time. And the back end here, this comes in real nice and handy for equipment storage, like the Woods Batwing mower and the John Deere 7810. This building here used to sit where the garden did. Okay, we since then did things a little bit differently. We don't have a garden here on this property anymore. We had since then moved things around, like I said, and the Lord blessed us with a bigger than enough building to store our equipment in, and we are very grateful for it. We can shut both ends up during the winter time, keep the wind and weather out, and use it for equipment storage during any time of the year like it is being used right now. Got the combine in here. It fits in here nicely, and so is the grain buggy and a couple other odds and ends. Grandpa had since then built this barn and barnyard. That pasture, cow pasture there, and that goes out to the road, was just all full of brush and everything. Let the pigs out there when he had 100 of pigs or so, and let the pigs go to work eating all the brush. That building there, that barn, was wooden siding back in the day. This was the pig barn back when Dad and Grandpa would have 100 litters of feeder pigs or so. There was a feed tank that sat right here where the concrete was, went into the barn, an auger inside the barn, and this is where the feeder pigs were kept. That's what each and every post is. It was a pen with feeders and waters. We'd since then tore all that out and used this to put the old cows in when for winter time, so they can come in and get out of the cold during the winter time and all that. We've since then done some things differently with some gates and everything. We've went with them heavy duty Steinway gates. Cows can whoop on them things all day long, not hurt them, not damage them. There are 3 over there and 1 right there. They are one heck of a gate. You'll want to buy one after watching this video. I just know it. Used to keep square bales of straw down in here, at least to about the post here. This was all just filled in with square bales of straw. We've since then acquired 18 wagons. We just thought it was just easier to let the wagons loaded and work off of the wagons rather than handle it umpteen times, more times than you necessarily have to. That is since then what we have done, and it is working really well for our operation to just let the wagons loaded with straw. We've since then dug a pond back in late 70, I think, or even 80. Got that dug, and well, it's more used for goose haven, but that's what ponds are for. The ducks over there, that's actually the farthest I've seen them go that way. They always come up here and cross the drive and play in this here whenever it rains, but they're ducks and you're never going to change that. So you guys enjoy this video or this series. I think there's going to be 3 parts to it. One being buildings and layout and just so on and so forth. We'll have to see what comes a brewing in my mind. So if you guys haven't done so already, I want to encourage you to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a comment. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Ain't that right, duckies? We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.